Hello and welcome to another edition of National Focus. I'm your presenter Mervin. Thank you for joining us. In the headlines, the Castlebrose Primary School has launched a parenting program. The government announced its plans to modernize the capital city, and we will bring you a report on Monday's DLP Rally in St. Joseph. Stay tuned for these and other stories right after the break.
The black Sikatoka fungus can survive on banana and plantain leaves even after they have been cut from the tree. Farmers and hucksters are encouraged to use alternate cushioning material when moving produce from farm to the market. Do not use banana and plantain leaves as cushioning. It is against the law to move banana and plantain trash from the field. Obey the law and stop the spread of black Sikatoka today.
Welcome back. Time now for the details of the news. Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit has announced plans to transform the capital city of Roseau. The Dominica leader made the announcement as he addressed the DLP Rally in St. Joseph on Monday.
I shall be taking to Cabinet in a matter of days a comprehensive plan for the upgrade and redevelopment of Roseau. We already have the designs and conceptual drawings for a total transformation of the city of Roseau, involving the covering and sealing of drains, underground installation of utility lines, widening of sidewalks, and installation of planters with plans to be maintained by the City Council. We shall also simplify traffic flows, and a key initiative in this regard shall be the construction of a new two-lane West Bridge exiting Roseau to replace the existing one-lane bridge. Also, as a benefit to residents and visitors alike, we shall introduce pedestrian walkovers in some areas. Simply put, Roseau shall be transformed.
The Dominica leader also revealed the plans for the modernization of the second town of Portsmouth.
I am here to tell residents of the heartland of Labour Party support in the north of Dominica that your time has come. Persons hailing from and living in Cottage, Vickers, Paybush, Wesley, Collio, and of course Portsmouth will be delighted to hear that at the commencement of structural work in Roseau, engineering and architectural work shall simultaneously commence in and around the northern town of Portsmouth, with a view to operating gateways to this historic community and setting the stage for far more vibrant commercial and industrial activity. We have told the planners to include, for example, facilities for a modern walk-off cruise landing facility and shopping arcade. Also bulk storage and loading bay for the export of fresh potable water. I will say a little more about the export of Dominica's water in a little while. But our vision for the Portsmouth Enhancement Program also includes a new government administration building to provide essential services for the north, a modern bus terminal to serve the people of the north, and a general road and highway improvement, including the continuation of the E.O. Libler Highway into Sugarloaf to avoid the current bottleneck at Borough Square at the bus stop.
And as promised in Tuesday's newscast, we now bring you a report on Monday's DLP Rally in St. Joseph. They came by bus, by car, by truck, pickups, motorcycles, and yes, even bicycles. Donned in their party collars, they waved their flags with pride, slogans worn proudly on their t-shirts, red cloths affixed to everything one could imagine. They traveled with the sounds of hi-fi music and danced to the beat of Lapo Cabwit. Their destination, the St. Joseph playing field. The event, a political rally of the ruling Dominica Labour Party dubbed Labour is the Change, Labour Katwavai. It was an opportunity created by party officials for supporters to fellowship and to be brought up to date on recent developments in the country as well as their plans for the future. so they allowed nothing to keep them away. Young and old in their creative outfits not only listened intently but also captured the moment as ministers of government reported on their ministerial portfolios. It was an opportunity to set aside the accusations of the opposition.
No other government in the history of this country has invested so much resources in agriculture.
A time to reflect on government's many social programs.
Let us raise our hands for the Yes We Care program.
A time to remind the massive crowd of the reasons why the administration is paying so much attention to human resource development.
Without education, there can be no liberation. No liberation without education.
Excitement on the grounds of the St. Joseph playing field reached its peak as party leader and Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit received a resounding welcome by party supporters. It was nightfall when the DLP leader rose to address supporters, immediately dismissing suggestions by the opposition that he would use the event to announce the election date.
None of those viewing and listening but the nonsense of my calling any election this evening.
With that, a quick message to the opposition.
If you want elections called tonight, call them yourself.
With the speakers before him speaking of the gains made by the administration, the DLP leader spoke of major initiatives being developed in various sectors of the Dominican economy, among them air access.
Let me say here and now that we have been having very in-depth discussions with a team of private developers out of China who are proposing the popular BOOT, build, own, operate and transfer option for the construction of an international airport in Dominica.
The Prime Minister also made a major announcement designed to further advance sports in Dominica.
Preliminary studies have been conducted and designs mapped out for the construction of a state-of-the-art indoor sporting facility seating no less than 3,000 persons.
The Prime Minister in his address revealed plans to transform the capital city.
I shall be taking to Cabinet in a matter of days a comprehensive plan for the upgrade and redevelopment of Rosum.
He also announced plans for the further development of the second town of Portsmouth, hotel construction, and plans for the export of Dominican water. With news of sister islands feeling the brunt of the global economic crisis, the DLP leader brought with him a message of assurance.
I wish this evening to give the assurance that the Dominica Labour Party has no intention of sending home workers now or in the foreseeable future.
Monday's rally, however, was not only about talk, as DLP supporters were entertained by Biggie Irie of Barbados, Dominica's Asa Banton, Hunter, Scrunter, Daddy Chess, and the Triple K International.
Dominica! Labor working, labor working. Change, real change. For years we couldn't fly out after sunset. Now anytime it's the yacht or Learjet, it change, real change.
After the dust settles on Monday's rally, the thousands of supporters will remember the confidence of the St. Joseph MP Honorable Kelva Darrow.
As long as God gives me life and strength and health, and you, the people of the St. Joseph constituency, need me to represent you, I will be there for the next 5 years, the next 10 years, the next 15 years.
They have no doubt gone home brimming with confidence of a victory at the next general elections. For National Focus, I am Mervin reporting. In more news, the Casabros Primary School has partnered with the Roving Caregivers Program and the East Dominica Children's Federation to teach adults to be the best parents they can be. At a ceremony on Tuesday, the parenting program was launched and welcomed by parents of that school. The Roving Caregivers Program, represented by Ostel Lockhart, has long played a role in initiatives such as these. The RCP has held several hundred parent education sessions in communities across the country.
We view parent education as being critical in the role of child rearing. The adjustments required for parenthood is nothing short of an easy one, I can imagine, since no one can really be prepared for the considerable changes and feelings parenthood ought to bring on. There is no written guidebook on parenting which truly captures the reality of the task involved in parenting. Good parenting practices, both from trials and errors, what worked and what has to be discarded or modified to bring the required long-lasting positive results. The RCP will continue to support the parents' education, the education of parents around Dominica, and the government of Dominica has ensured that this will continue.
Lockhart announced government support for the RCP by approving funding towards the salaries for the next 3 years, a total of $128,400. Honorable Johnson Drago, parliamentary representative for the Casablanca constituency, in his remarks said that such a positive program would always have his full support. He spoke directly to parents, saying that while the parenting program will meet its objectives, real parenting has already begun at home.
The home is the one that forms the child. That's where the child gets the child quality, the quality, personal quality, all the traits, development traits come from the home, my dear people, not the school, because every school has at least 10 and up number of children in a class. And they are preoccupied with teaching these children the subjects. They have a syllabus and so on. They have a program. So therefore, they do not have that time for that quality time that we're talking about, where we want to form little ladies and little men. You have to form that at home. When your children leave your home and they go on the street, you have to have that confidence that your child is going to behave in a particular manner because of what you instill in them at home. And so bite the bullet, my dear parents. Please, do not miss one session. Make the sacrifice.
The PTA President, Augustus Drago, is on board with the parenting program and urged parents to do the same.
This is an opportunity for you to receive new information. It is one where some will be reminded of techniques that have been forgotten due to busy schedules. I encourage you to grasp this opportunity with both hands. I welcome those staff members who are already full-hearted on board. And I take pleasure at this moment to extend an invitation to the principal and the other staff members who are not yet on board. To be on board is to understand the content and the benefits of this program to your school and the community by extension, and to do what it takes to ensure its success. As a parent myself, I can assure you all that 50 years down the line, when many of us would have probably been gone, our generations will still be reaping the benefits of this program.
The parenting program at the Casablanca Primary School will run for 6 weeks in the first instance, covering topics such as eating healthy, hygiene and dress, child sexual abuse, homework help, the Education Act, and the rights of children and parents. The Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry will officially launch an AgriForestry Festival from May 12 to 16, 2014, which, among numerous goals, is aimed at increasing knowledge and production of Dominica's local farmers. The first ever Agriculture and Forestry Festival in Dominica will be hosted under the theme Agriculture and Forestry, Our Sustainable Future. Minister for Agriculture, Honorable Matthew Walter, says numerous factors contribute negatively in the demotivation of farmers, and thus there is need for greater stimulation in the agriculture sector.
We see a level of disinterest in many of the farmers. We have a situation where, farmers are being threatened by international measures. We have situations where, farmers cannot cope with the SPS standards. We have situations where, farmers are unable to cope, with the escalating prices in relation to the cost of fertilizers and other inputs. We have a situation where, we do not have sufficient, workforce on the ground in relation to agriculture. We want to reverse that trend. And we want to send, a special message to the farmers that there is no need to despair. There is no need to get disinterested. There is no need to get frustrated. Because if we understand, what it takes to be able to do agriculture in a very profitable manner, and if we understand the need for us to pool our resources, for us to pool our ideas, and for us to be able to implement workable and sustainable plans, I think that all of us in Dominica should be convinced that doing agriculture could be a profitable business.
Director of Agriculture Ricky Bruman voiced that if Dominica is to progress in the sector, farmers and other individuals must first understand the importance of agriculture.
Without our biodiversity, without our ecology, without understanding agriculture from the edges of the sea to the very mountaintop, including all our catchments and so on, and working with it for ensuring sustainability, we will not have food for the future. We will not have farms. And so this week will provide us the opportunity to again make people more aware of those things surrounding us.
Meanwhile, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Harold Geese, expressed hope that the AgriForestry Festival will aid farmers in becoming more financially disciplined. He sent a strong message to farmers that it should be business unusual.
I have said to some farmers when I spoke to them some time ago, agriculture has to be business unusual in the times that we are living. It cannot be business as usual. And the Honorable Minister mentioned handouts. Subsidies are important in many areas of agriculture, but handouts is a different thing. It creates a false notion that your cost of production is okay. When in truth and in fact, if you allow market forces to take effect, you would realize that you are on a boapui. You are leaning on something that is not there, because the real costs of production, the farmer doesn't realize it. It is buffered for him. And if we are to do business in agriculture, he must realize the real costs so that he knows that he has to exercise financial discipline in his dealings. A farmer now has to learn that he cannot use his capital and his profit and spend everything and go and look for somewhere for inputs. We have to change this culture, and then we're hoping that AgriFest will help us do that.
According to the Agriculture Minister, the main mission of the AgriForestry Festival 2014 remains to highlight the positive aspects of the agriculture sector in Dominica and showcase the hard work of farmers across the country. And finally, tonight, the Tourism Minister Ian Douglas has appealed to all Dominicans to foster deeper appreciation for the traditional aspects of Carnival celebrations. This he expressed during his remarks at the Mass Dominic 2014 prize-giving ceremony on Friday, held by the Discover Dominica Authority and the Dominica Festivals Commission.
We have to continue to encourage more development in the traditional forms of Carnival, because at the end of the day, essentially, that is what the Carnival is all about. We have a lot of patrons who participate in the Carnival, but they do not really understand the true meaning of Carnival. What was the origin of Carnival? What is the purpose of Carnival? And that's why we have probably persons who do not participate in Carnival see it on its surface as just the 2 days of street jump up of people jumping in the streets. But Carnival is much more than that. Carnival has a historic background, and That is the root of Carnival. And so we need to encourage more participation in the traditional forms of Carnival, our Suswell Suwi, our Dakis, the Sensei, even the rural participation. Somehow, the pre-Carnival events, we need to be able to get out into the out districts.
The Honorable Minister stressed the need for youth involvement in the Carnival activities to increase the longevity of the traditional aspects of the celebration.
I believe that the idea of getting into the schools is the right way to go, because that is where the future lies. And getting our students to be able to construct the various things that we use in our Carnival, our Sensei, even some of the major mass builders, our queen costume builders, we have to be able to go back into the schools and start with the princess competition, start with the teenage pageant competition. And the teenage pageant competition gets a lot of support from the schools. I can see it at the shows. A lot of the school children come out, especially the secondary schools.
Honorable Douglas placed a special emphasis on the need for continued support of the Junior Monarch Calypso event and the art form from a holistic standpoint.
So we need to get back into the schools. We need to give support even to the Junior Calypsos. And not only the Dominica Calypso Association must be involved in Junior Calypsos, but all of us interested in the development of Carnival, because I believe from the Junior Calypso show this year and years past, just looking at it, I can see that there is tremendous potential for the growth and development and the sustainability of the art form. I mean, we just lost man himself, and we need to spare a moment to remember the great contribution of people like man himself. And that in itself tells us that at some point, the stalwarts in the art form of Calypso will go on.
And that's news. Now for a few announcements. The central team of the Roseau Health District has embarked on an adolescent health program which commenced on April 22nd and will end on May the 30th. The aim is to equip young people between the ages of 9 and 15 with life skills which will assist them to make more responsible decisions. Topics include know your body, self-esteem, the importance of God in one's life, drug abuse, teen and the law, life in prison, HIV and AIDS, skills training, and small business. The program will be held on Tuesdays and Thursdays at the Roseau Health Center. All students living in Roseau and environs are invited to attend. For more information, call Nurse Louise at 266-5805 or Nurse Lloyd at 266-5836. The Forestry, Wildlife and Parks Division, in partnership with the University of the West Indies Open Campus, will host a presentation on why birds matter as part of the Caribbean Endemic Birds Festival 2014. The event will take place at the UE Center on Thursday, May 8, 2014 at 7 p.m. Admission is free. All are invited. Your tip of the day is next.
You asked for it. See more evidence of development right here on the Government Information.
A morning workout triggers feel-good endorphins and lowers elevated stress hormones, effects that can last up to 8 hours. Morning exercisers tend not to have mid-morning slumps and are sharper mentally too than if they hadn't exercised. To get the most bang for your energy buck, do a workout that includes both cardio and strength training. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website at news.gov.dm. Friend us on our Facebook page and be sure to like our GIS Dominica fan page. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here on the GIS News Desk, thanks for joining us, and join us again next time for another edition.